I just want to quickly introduce the people on the panel. Starting to my far right is Matt Dubois, who's the president of Voiceovers.com. And I thought it was important to invite Matt this morning because his new Voiceovers.com platform has a really interesting new technology that's going to be assisting us with setting rates that are appropriate for the jobs on hand. Matt, a question for you is that I think that the stabilization of rates is something that's important to all of us, and I think that the new technology that you're bringing with Voiceovers.com, and we're all, very much anticipating and looking forward to the launch of Voiceovers.com in the coming weeks. How is this algorithm work? How does it work, and how is it going to help us with stabilizing rates at an appropriate level?
Thanks. We're talking about what are the factors that affect rate deterioration, and we're in a connected world right now. And so where does it all start? It all starts online. I mean, if people don't know what fair rates are, they don't. Most buyers are new professional voice buyers at ad agencies or non-professional voice buyers. Where they start to learn is online, and that's what I see as the primary driver for rate deterioration. Is they're going online, and the people that have a dominance in online are teaching them things that are not the best for actors, right? And they're actually better for themselves. They're enriching themselves and filling up their pockets at your expense. It's tough, by the time they've learned this from these people that they're finding this information from online quickly and easily, and then by the time it comes to the talent or the agents, it's tough because you now have to try to educate and unwind something they've just learned online. So our approach, me being from the outside, being a business technologist, and I like to look, how do we get ahead of this? How do we be proactive? Again, we looked at, this is where rate deterioration is starting online, and people finding that's where they're learning. So that's what we aim to do, was get ahead of those that are publishing or encouraging these lower rates and really teaching buyers bad practices. And what we wanted to do was, honestly, buyers don't want to be educated. Like, let me tell you, this is what it should be. Here's take a look at this rate guide. And the rate guides are great and they're awesome, but it's tough because the buyers just want to get what they want, right? And they don't want to know everything. They just want to know what they want easily. And that's what we see with some of the online casting sites now is they make it easy to pay a lot less. And so what we decided to do was develop an AI bot. It's Decipher VO. And the reason why we've actually branded it separately, I'll kind of tell you a little about what it does, but the reason why we've branded it separately is we want to, it's not a rate card. We're working with rate cards and GVA, and we want to license it to SAG and be able to use this technology to help out the entire industry. We didn't want just to be our secret sauce and have it make us money. We wanted it to be something that helped rate deterioration across the whole industry. But what it is basically is for Voiceovers.com, it was really important. The way we thought it would be best to serve the talent is to get them plenty of jobs at a fair rate. And the best way to do that would be to create an amazing buyer experience on the front end. And there's some online casting sites that that frankly have really good front end buyer experiences that don't operate ethically or transparently. But it doesn't take away the fact that they are masters at being at the top of people's mind and at the top of search engines and creating a good experience for the buyer. What we're doing is creating a better experience for the buyer and beating them online in their positioning and getting in front of these buyers earlier. But Decipher is, instead of having a long form this is the best way to describe it. Instead of having a long form for the buyer to fill out some questions, and then presenting a excuse me, a ballpark range. Hey, this job's $500 to $5,000. You know, I'm going to pay $500. I think everybody. If somebody tells you, you know, pay $500 to $5,000 this, you can't, you know, don't get upset at the buyer when a broker told them they could pay $500. I use excuse me, I use car analogies a lot. If I was looking for a Porsche and I go to a dealership and they say, hey, here's a Porsche you like. Give us $10,000 to $50,000, whatever you want, right? Here's $10,000. I'm peeling out. I'm gone, right? And I'm not feeling bad at all. And it's not that I was like, hey, I want to screw over the car dealer or the person who's selling it. You told me that, right? And I just want a good deal. You know, I want a good value. And that's really, at the end of the day, that's what most buyers want. You know, we talk to ad agencies and professional and non-professional voice buyers, and none of them are out there saying they want to screw over town. They're trying to get the cheapest thing possible. That's not, you know, there's a few people that say that, but generally the conversation is they just want a good value, and they want to feel like they're getting a good value. There's plenty of examples of that in every industry. Apple's a great example of that. And, you know, Mercedes doesn't worry about what Toyota's doing. So we've presented a way to make them feel like they're getting a good value. The Decipher, it starts really with registration. A buyer registers, they put their name in, their email address, and then it asks them just a simple question, like, what best describes you? A small business owner, a video game creator, a producer, a marketer, so on. So there's different categories, right? Because what we know is all these people use different languages and they do different kinds of projects. So to create the best buyer experience, we need to cater it and customize it to the language they use and the type of project they're going to do. The small business owner or the video game creator is not going to need all the options that a higher level professional advertising agency does. So based on how they register, our AI bot, when they go to post a project, our AI bot starts interviewing them, asking them questions. And what's going on is, behind the scenes, it's really cross-referencing a rate card. And the second question or the third question may be different every time, depending on the answer to the first question. So you see, it's a dynamic form. Again, rather than a long form, it asks a question. The AI bot asks a question. It gets an answer. It determines that if it needs more clarification, it asks another question. And it gets an answer, and it's going. This page, okay, you know, go here on the x-axis and the y-axis, and here you go. And after about 5 to 7 questions, it determines what kind of project you have. It could count the words. If there's broadcast, it's a weighted algorithm, so it could detect the geolocation of your IP address and cross-reference it with the zip code on your billing, zip on your credit card, and then it presents a rate. Like, again, another car reference, like a CarMax no haggle rate. Like, here it is. This is what this costs. So rather than saying, this is $500 to $5,000, this is $1,400. And most people are like, okay, that's what it is. I want a good deal. I know that with our site, at least, because we're vetting, they know they're getting 4 or 5-star talent. So that's a good deal, and they're going to go for it. Is it foolproof? Is everybody going to be like, yes, I'm going to do it? No. But does it make it better? We believe so, and that's why we've done it.
So using Decipher, is that going to be an optional thing, or the price is whatever price Decipher comes up with, that's the price that the voice seeker or the buyer is going to pay for a particular job?
Yeah, as we're launching, that's it. That's the rate. We're going to monitor cart abandonment and see what that is, and we're keeping an option open to allow that to be adjusted, maybe 10% or something like that. It's something that, being a software guy, we monitor every step of the process. We know how many people will get to the first question, second question, third question, and so we use all this data to analyze, and we know how long people listen to every demo. And a few people have asked this, and the reason, if you've watched any of the webinars or anything I talk about, I have this concept called the highlight demo, and like Jay Michael, he has it calls like the 6-second demo, and I talk about why that's important, because we know, after like 24 seconds, almost everybody stops listening to a demo that uses a casting site. So you really have to capture them. But we're going to, again, we know how many people are falling off at every level of every question, and then as a casting site, we make adjustments. So it's something we're monitoring. Right now, we're launching it. That's it. That's the rate, and it's something we'll consider. And there's no definitive answer. I don't have a, we definitely don't want to open it up entirely, but we would consider making. We could set a percentage to where they could adjust it, but just present it with this rate and make the field editable. But they wouldn't be able to edit it outside of a certain limit, a threshold there.
Well, speaking as a voice actor, we're all, or I think I can speak on behalf of many voice actors, is that we're behind you. We want to see voiceovers.com successful, because I think that we need another entry into the online casting marketplace, and someone that's going to be looking after the interests of voice actors by trying to protect these rates is a big deal to us. And personally, I thank you for that.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a non-union voice actor from the San Francisco Bay Area, and I pretty much get 99% of my work. I negotiate all my contracts, but I just joined voiceovers.com, so I'm excited about that. What I've been finding with my business clients is that they are very resistant to paying anything extra for social media use. And the interesting thing for me, I've started turning down work. I interviewed Robert Siglampaglia. I'm sure you know him. He wrote the VO legal book. And he said that he's seeing a trend in terms of conflict situations in the pharmaceutical, finance, and insurance industries where clients don't want to hear your voice even in the non-broadcast area. So if they hear your voice on a website or social media. So my question is, I've been turning them down because when I charge them, they want a full buyout in perpetuity. I know, David, and thank you for that beautiful guide, you recommend 2 to 5 years. I have not found many of my clients, and I'm a lawyer, so I deal a lot with lawyers and law firms. They want to just pay just one price. They don't want to pay
That's
extra
nice.
for social media. So given the fact that there's going to be a trend towards not only do you you can't be heard on TV or radio, but now it's going to be online on somebody's website, how are we going to deal with that?
Well,
So
yeah, go for
the,
it.
my perspective on this, and we have something that's coming out in late summer. We're working out the legal aspects of it. This goes back to there's not an easy way to renew it or a way to track and manage these contracts for the buyers, right? Frankly, they would lease it or license it for 6 months, a year, multiple years, if there was a better licensing system. So one of the things that we're coming out with is called Voice Lease, and it's actually the non-union alternative for residuals. Actually, many companies are used to buying things on a monthly basis. Software. Now you buy Photoshop or Adobe Creative Suite on a monthly basis. You buy Microsoft Office on a monthly basis. There's so many things, so many businesses actually are turning to selling something outright to leasing or licensing something on a recurring basis. And it's easy to go in and manage that. One of the things that we're trying to do is with this voice lease is for talent, actors that opt in, they'll be able to be eligible for buyers that want to lease your voice, and we will automatically rebill at that year or 2 years. And you get mailbox money. We rebill for you, and you get it. They have the buyer, the client has a portal where they could manage that. We've presented it in a way that's very easy and not threatening. They get into because that's really a big problem. It's how do we manage it? That they're concerned, like, where's this contract going to go, and who's going to check on it again? And we're going to be stuck being liable if somewhere somebody forgets to manage this, right? But if they have a platform that reminds them, it automatically renews and it takes care of the legal agreement. All that's automatically done. It makes it easier. Again, I don't think there's any one thing that solves the problem for everybody, but it's a step to make it easier to be able to do that. That's how we're trying to approach it.